Hey there, week 11, and this is going to be the last video before we take a much needed holiday and come back to the project in January. So, Mr. Crossy as it stands is a student project that we are actually planning on releasing next year as a free-to-play game on Steam. The game turned out to be much bigger than we anticipated, and even though we feature locked ourselves for submission, mechanics that kind of diversify the gameplay have been slowly creeping into our documentation over the last 3 months. This week, however, has been primarily spent, for me at least, on managing the team and the project towards being a submitted project and determining where we draw the line in the sand, saying that's enough for the submitted state of the project, and what we can put aside for future development. So I'll start off with the high-level plans that I created for Mr. Crossy. So as of this week, we plan on submitting Mr. Crossy as an early demo. It'll give the players the ability to spell around 8 words, and overall it should take somewhere between 30 minutes to an hour to play. In the past, we've released our projects on itch.io at the same time as submission, as it was a requirement of those courses. However, in our capstone project, there is no such requirement. Whilst we really do want to release the demo for Mr. Crossy, and whilst we think the demo in its current state is fine for submission, we feel that we can get a lot more out of doing around 3 to 4 weeks of polishing, really refining the demo to be a polished product instead of releasing this submission demo publicly, and as we all go on much needed holidays, potentially having bugs reported and hotfixes reported, and we can't really attend to them because, you know, we're going to be all over the place and very busy. So we've decided to release a public demo of Mr. Crossy in late January, along with a coming soon Steam page, funneling all our demo players to the Steam page, generating a wish list, building up our Discord, and having some proper time to market the game via the use of the demo, as well as leading up to the release of that demo. As of next year, around February, we're going to be going down to part-time development, as we're still studying, we got a few modules left, and whilst we have 2 to 3 months of doing those courses, we'll be working on Mr. Crossy part-time, and then after that, we'll go back to full-time development depending on our life circumstances. And we plan on releasing Mr. Crossy around Q3 of 2022, giving us a lot more time to add in those extra mechanics and polish. Rushing to the release of a semi-polished demo is just simply not desirable for us. We're really proud of this project, and we know the potential that we can get out of spending just a few extra weeks on ironing out the kinks. So that's what we plan on doing. Additionally, it means that we can have the game updated when it comes to the exhibition for the college as well in, I believe, February. After creating the plan, I then ran a meeting with the team, and they seem to all be on board with this plan to determine where we draw the line for submission. We all privately voted and unanimously agreed to have 4 words of District 1 and half of District 2. Which is essentially what we have already. We're just now purely in a state of squashing small bugs and getting it ready to submit. After talking to the team, I then went ahead and created this incredibly ugly but thorough way to check off all the boxes leading towards submission. Everything leads to submission, so, you know, the designers and the programmers, we all have our own swim lanes and categories. These are part of the submission requirements, as well as the fact that we have submission paperwork to do. After figuring out all that stuff, I then sat down with Taj and got him to arrange Nini's house. Nini's house is essentially a micro version of Mr. Crossy, exclusively just her letter props that she modeled for the game, and we thought it'd be a nice portfolio piece for her as well, as just us saying thanks for all the hard work that she had done. In the process of creating this scene, I got to teach Taj a hell of a lot, and I also gave him a little bit of a masterclass on post-processing and lighting as well, along with, you know, various elements specific to Mr. Crossy and the game. After doing this, I then directed Jimmy through the process of producing his nostalgia track. He was a bit stuck on a few elements of it, and after sitting down with him for around an hour, we managed to get the song to where we're really happy with it. Here is the song in context. Outside doing all of those things, I've pretty much just been doing a brunt of tasks in regards to quality of life and just some design issues. So much has been done, but they're all very small and kind of not that significant, so I can't exactly show you without having to revert my issues. Anyway, the end is nice, submission's nearly done, we're all going to squash some bugs, we're going to make some quality of life improvements and submit this thing. We're going to take some much needed time off and not spend these 16-hour days, which are simply exhausting, and actually have some time to play some games and spend time with loved ones. It's been a solid 10 weeks, I think, since I touched a single game. These devlogs will take a new form in the new year, as the current kind of format is for college, and purely from my own perspective. Next year, these devlogs will be what the team has done, and will be way more insightful in terms of overall progression of the project. Until next year, have a lovely Christmas and New Year's, and enjoy your holiday breaks if you do get one. Take care.